So here we go with a very late lesson. Since it's Friday, and usually I was trying to do these on Tuesdays, but I have to say, I don't know, I'm just not with it these days. So I want to get back to shadowing, because I think it's important for us to look at the dark and the light, the shadow and the light. And also, it is easier if you are looking and doing something round, like an orange or an apple, just for practice. And if you notice how there's almost a darker line down here at the bottom, and that comes up around everything. A lot of famous painters, if you look at their paintings, the bodies or the images in the painting all have a dark line around them, and that's the way we see. There's always like a little curve to everything that leaves a dark shadow around it that separates it out from what's around it, the object from what's around it. So if you want, you can just lightly draw a sort of a free form circle just to give you the shape. So if your water and your color goes out, you have a perimeter to sort of stay in. And you can sort of like feel the size with your hand of what it is you're trying to do. And actually I made mine a little smaller than what that apple is. I'm going to just put this little darker spot. I'm going to put just a little spot for the stem. Now, if I've made lines that I don't want, I can come back with a white eraser and lightly erase and blow. But I'm not so worried about the pencil lines. And if you want, you can always come back with a black pen line. But what I'm going to do now, I've sprayed my my palette, and just to make this organic, first I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with my shadow, and this is just to give me, you're looking at it straight down with my camera, but I'm a little further out than straight, so it might not look, what I'm doing might not look exactly like what you're seeing, but I'm just going to get that there. And then I'm going to, this is, you can do fruit very quickly. I'm just putting a little water, if you can see, a little water there. And I'm going to drop in my paint. And remember that you can lift if you don't want all that. But I'm not, the beauty of watercolor is how it spreads. And if you're really looking at trees, and I don't know if you can see, there is a little red reflected here from the apple on the paper. There's even more than one. There's a dark shadow and a lighter shadow. I only have one source of light, except there is something behind me, a window behind me. So I'm going to let that dry a bit. And I'm just going to come along and play in it. I'm going to add a little. And also, the beauty of all this is I don't have to copy that apple exactly. I can do my own thing. Now, I'm doing this on dry, just on this part on dry where I let the other run, but I'm also going to put a little yellow in there. And I found that I cannot talk and paint. So I do apologize. if you're waiting for my sentence. If you're waiting with a bated breath for my sentence, I do apologize. Now, I might have dried my shadow a little more. But because we're doing this wet on wet and just working with it for you all to see, how I could do a fast apple with a shadow and make it look three-dimensional. I am a colorist, and I like to use a lot of color to what I'm doing. The thing that I've always found interesting was in the summers I used to go to art camp that was put on through James Madison University. I'm talking while this sort of dries. And we painted all day long, morning till night. And they rang the bell for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And oh my gosh, it was so wonderful. And I'm going to add just a little green to make a chartreuse in here. But if you looked at your own face in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth at night, it was so amazing to see the color in your face. The more that the cones in your eye are bombarded, essentially, let's say, with color, it's just amazing how much easier it is for you to see color. So the more that you do paint and experiment with color, the more you're going to see it in objects, and you realize that we're just a very colorful world. The artist Cezanne would look at fruit, and he just knew there's a different way to paint it. This sort of looks like an apple that he might have painted. And if you notice, as I am putting some of these darker colors around, this little purple, the apple is sort of growing out of my paint. And it doesn't look like that one. I think mine is prettier. What do you think? So also my paper is buckled up, and so you're getting a light right there. I want to make that more defined. I want to wait till it dries. Because it's the shadow line. I don't know if you all can see the color, the paint that I'm using. Like I've got this messy thing right here, which I like to use. I love to watch what the watercolor does, how it bleeds. Now, I've left some white spots, sort of on purpose, because I want some light, on that apple. But I'm going to come with some bright yellow here and see what this does. Right around that. Still want to get this just a little bit darker. I sort of shy away from using black because black can really get in there. So I usually use really deep purple. If you mix purple and red, so I put a little magenta in here for a color. Okay. So that's a very quick video, 11 minutes and 40 seconds. I might come back when this dries, so your last photograph of it will be probably with a little dark, much darker right here. And then with if I did my signature, I'm trying to think of where's the pen. One other thing is that this black right here, let's see, I hope that this will have some ink in it, but like if I put my signature there as an art, little squiggle, but actually a line for design. It's something for you to think about with your signatures. Everybody should sign their piece, and then put it in the closet and don't look at it for a month or two, and you'll be so surprised at how much you like it. See, even me, I'm thinking right here, I want a little dark area right there. It's that little dark area right there. And maybe now that this is drying a little bit, I'll come back with just a little dark right here. There you go. So, I think that's perfect. So what's happened is I've got every color in the rainbow there. This apple has been sitting here for 3 days because I was going to do this on Tuesday, and I've gotten sidetracked. I had a huge fish that died in my pool, and my pump went out on the pool, and then they opened the swimming pool, and what a mess. I mean to tell you. So I apologize that you all were last on my list, but here we go. Please make yourself an apple and then eat it because it's good for you. And I look forward to seeing you all soon.